Well, ladies and gentlemen, Pokimane, who is amongst one of the worst content creators on Twitch or any platform, has decided to make a statement about the Super Bowl halftime show that was absolutely atrocious. And her statement is, if you didn't like it, it's probably because you were white. I'm just going to let you marinate on that for just a moment. But yeah, that is the genius opinion from the brain trust over at Twitch. That if you don't like that absolutely unwatchable halftime show, that it's because you're white. That's basically what it is. So without further ado, let's watch this video clip that's going viral.
I could be wrong, but me personally, it kind of pissed me off to see so many people be like, Kendrick Lamar didn't deserve the halftime show. This halftime show sucked.
It did suck. It was atrocious. It was really bad. Really bad. Unwatchable.
Just tell me you understood nothing about his performance and leave. Because
no, I understood his performance sucked. And I find this ironic that this airheaded bimbo is going to be lecturing people about, no, you don't understand the intricacies. And, there was a much broader conversation that was actually being had with the popular. No, it was a terrible halftime show. It was a terrible performance. It was a terrible presentation. However you want to try to twist and fold that to make it about a broader political issue means nothing. It was a terrible halftime show. It was atrocious. It was bad. It was not good. Whether I think Kendrick Lamar deserved it or not is irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. The halftime show was shit. So I could be like, oh, well, I don't think Kendrick Lamar deserved it. By the numbers, he gets a lot of viewers. He gets a lot of attention. So I understand why they would do it. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm saying the show was shit. It was bad.
is also, what do you mean? You sitting your ass at home with probably zero musical capabilities think that Kendrick Lamar didn't deserve the halftime show. Only white people hated it. I didn't want to say it.
So one of the Simps in our audience came out and said only white people hated it. So basically, so keep in mind that this cum dumpster bimbo is the same one that tried to sell cookies to her audience that were basically a white label product and then called them poor for not wanting to pay a premium price for a non-premium product. Keep in mind that this is the person that continuously and repeatedly says the most tone-deaf, stupid, irredeemably retarded shit, but gets forgiven for some reason because there's an army of simps out there. But her conclusion is, well, only white people didn't like this. No, most people didn't like it. And rightfully so. Now, if you're some pseudo-intellectual retard cum dumpster bimbo on the internet like Pokimane is, and you want to pretend to be so much smarter and more enlightened than other people, then this would be the way to do it. Oh, you just didn't understand the intricacies of the performance. You sitting on your ass at home watching the game. How dare you? Listen, I don't have to be a semen gargling, low IQ ethot like yourself to understand that what you're doing is shit. I don't have to be whatever it is that I'm watching to understand that it's not good. That's not the way that it works. I don't need to know all the intricacies behind the scenes as it relates to, mixing the audio and, with the stage production and all the. I don't need to know any about that. I don't need to know anything about that to understand the performance was shit. It was bad. It was not good. And keep in mind, something that this piece of ass doesn't understand is that you're watching a game, you're watching a halftime show, you're watching all of this stuff because you want to have fun. It's supposed to be an escape. It's why the Romans went to the Colosseum. But she's sitting here going, well, you don't like the performance? It's because you're white. It's because you're uncultured. No, it's because people have a brain. And by the way, there are a lot of people that didn't like this performance that weren't white. Not that that should be the standard. But there were a lot of people that didn't like the show. But I'm sick and tired of watching these vapid ethos that have never had an original idea in their life come out there and just blurt this inane shit for no reason. You're going to throw in white people there because you think it makes you look good? No, it makes you look like what you are. It makes you look like exactly what you are.
Zero musical capabilities think that Kendrick Lamar didn't deserve the halftime show. Only white people hated it. I didn't want to say it. As a white passing person, I didn't want to say that. But you saying that and me repeating that message, I'm just going to let that sit. Ain't nothing wrong with being a white man. That's not the point. My point is that, I feel like if you watched his performance and really took it in, you'd be like, there are some underlying messages that the performance is trying to convey, especially during Black History Month. So you sitting...
Oh, I see. So Come Dumpster Bimbo here thinks that, well, the performance could be good or bad, but you should pretend to like it because there are underlying political tones, and it's easier for this ethos to virtue signal, because there's a black man complaining about something, therefore he has legitimacy, and therefore you shouldn't really be complaining about it. And this whole thing about sitting your ass at home, bitch, you sit your ass in front of a screen and do absolutely nothing. Nothing. You do nothing. And people pay you money to do nothing. And then you try to scam them with a white label cookie product that's absolute dog shit. You are in no position to be lecturing anyone about anything ever. Ever. Your politics are repugnant. Your intelligence, below average. Well below average. If you don't understand what the Super Bowl is about, if you aren't smart enough, if you aren't capable enough to understand what the Super Bowl is about, that's fine. Then just keep your dick licker shut. That's it. No bringing up, white people and white people are bad because if white people were the only group that didn't like this, it still wouldn't change the fact that the show was shit. And whatever deeper political message you think is attached to this, because this guy's complaining, he's black and he's complaining, so therefore there must be something deeper. No, there was nothing deeper. There was nothing deeper. It wasn't like, underneath this big shit that somebody took on the sidewalk, there's actually something beneath it. No, it's just a pile of shit. And you take the pooper scooper and you get it off the sidewalk. That's what you do. His message, the complaining, the grievance culture of people in the black community, it's shit. And it's insufferable. And nobody wants it. Nobody wants to sit there and be like, I'm enjoying this football game. Now let me listen to grievance culture from this group. The fact that they had a black national anthem right there was an insult in and of itself, by the way. Having a black national anthem is one of the biggest insults to this country that I could possibly imagine. So I'm not going to be lectured to by anyone, especially a multimillionaire celebrity like Kendrick Lamar. I mean, it's unbelievable that I'm making a video about some brain dead ethought because she was aggrieved that people, more than just white people, but people didn't like the halftime show, and she doesn't think that they should be allowed to voice that because there were deeper, more complex issues at play. No, there weren't. It was a terrible show, a terrible presentation. You're a bitch. You're an absolute bitch. There's no question about that. There's no defense for what you're doing here. There's no defense for what you're saying here. It's just garbage from a brain-rotted, left-away Twitch streamer bimbo.
There. Being like, oh, I don't think he deserved it. It's just like, stop, please.
No.
Please. Please stop. I could...
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you could tell, but I've had it up to here with these content creators, these nags, these grandstanders, these moral Puritans, quote unquote, that are the least moral, least intelligent, least qualified people in the world to talk about anything ever. Oh, you don't like the halftime show? It must be because you're white and you don't understand. Nobody liked the halftime show. Other than grievance culture retards and other cum dumpster streamer bimbos that think it's some sort of, hey, it makes me look good to be like this sort of enlightened. No, it's garbage. It was a terrible show. And if you like that show, you should genuinely feel bad. You should genuinely feel bad if you like that show. That's my final statement on this. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. See you next time.